After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. This defense for the Packers, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Murray going to throw. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Oh, that's a monster play there by the defense, getting a 3rd down stop so far behind the line of scrimmage. That should take away the option to go for it. This quarterback, an absolute weapon who can throw it or run it for a 1st down. But a loss of more than 10 yards, hard to see the offense coming back out on this 4th down attempt.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Jalen Thompson picks it. And the Cards will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
On 2nd down, Calhoun. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
On 3rd down, Calhoun. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. Murray now on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And he's got this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Packers' 35.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Third down, Calhoun, and he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Murray sets to throw on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And 3rd and 1 now.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
On 4th down, on is Colby Wadman now to punt. .51 yards on the punt there. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard. I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Cardinals on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Play action. Now it's Murray. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. 3-2 their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago, add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
The big loss on first down leads to a tricky 2nd down. 18 yards to go. Now this time Rodgers will throw. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd. So as they take it over, we step aside. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. He'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down. On now is the Packers punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Returning it is Moore. So call that a 56-yard punt with a return of about 11. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Up the middle they go. Calhoun. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 13. Play fake. Murray. Packer pressure, and down he goes. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack. They try to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going deep for Brown. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Byron Murphy. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
They'll keep it on the ground. Calhoun. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
The slot man in motion right. On 2nd down now. Calhoun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Something looked weird there up front. The offensive linemen, it looks like they weren't on the same page.
Yeah, every play design has a huge element of trust that everyone's going to do their job. But if one person doesn't, and you have a breakdown, everything goes to rubble.
Murray now. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
On the move to his left. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. They'll let this go for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I believe I'm following their logic. Take the big shot downfield, loosen things up. You're hoping to get some points on the board before the half. Maybe now you come back and throw some underneath stuff in order to make sure you get a completion.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. On play action, it's Rodgers. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
On 4th down, on is the punter, Colby Wadman. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Moore on the return. All told, a 54-yard punt, 13 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. 1 second, all that remains. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. So we're at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And the tight end goes in motion left. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw, it's Murray. Escapes the sack. And this will be incomplete.
Well, that wasn't a completion, but it wasn't a sack either. So the good takeaway, able to extend the life of the play. Normally, you would think he'd just take off and run downfield, but he was trying to find an open receiver, unable to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Murray. He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. Murray on the sneak. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A little jet sweep to start the drive. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw complete to Freiermuth. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On play action, Rodgers. Got a man, it's Schwartz, complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Hey, you block over here.
Now a handoff up the middle. Michaels, and this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Jump out! Hey, take 26!
Here's Rodgers. Looking middle, and that's complete. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And it looks like he's going to be stopped short of the first down by about a yard.
Stopped short of the goal line. A gain of 3 yards.
Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Cooper Kupp with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The Cardinals may over 1st and 10 at their own 25 ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. Throwing on first down is Murray. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball. And we see yet another errant throw as a result.
On second down, Calhoun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. That catch, by the way, number 940 in his career, so he's 60 away from a grand, but 940, that ties him with Art Monk.
And I think it's fitting that he tied Art Monk because of the way that he goes about his business, the way that he plays the game. Not a lot of flash, not a lot of dash, but plenty of production.
Murray now on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Shotgun now for Murray. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover him. That type of indecision can open up even more big plays.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. They'll run on first down. Calhoun, and he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. His 4th rushing touchdown on the campaign, number 7 overall. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
2nd and 5 now. Rodgers, throw left side, complete to Kupp. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On first down, Rodgers. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this. And I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. It is fielded right at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. I don't want to say that they're completely against the wall here, Charles, but all of a sudden, with the run that they've been on the other sideline, this is down to a 3-point game. They got to be careful.
Not much space from their back to the wall, though. So you're exactly right. They've got to be careful here. But this is where the value of note-taking and recall comes into play. What was working earlier? Why was it working? Can you get those types of matchups again? And can you run those plays that get you a little bit more breathing room and a little bit of space?
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Throwing now is Murray. Man open left side is Brown.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times and 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Murray. Finding his target, it's Trey McBride. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Cardinals are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They run the counter. Calhoun. And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
On 2nd down now, Calhoun. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession. So they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the 1st down. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and he did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to swell the lead to 6. And his kick is indeed good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best at the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw, Rodgers. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Kupp. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Now Rodgers. Looking for Cooper Kupp again, 2 in a row. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely, this defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. Rodgers to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. And the Cards have just about sewn up this football game. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. They find some open, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. 20, 10, 5, and he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now stands at 13. The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for the Cards, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings.